It's CCA's great pleasure to be joined today by our fabulous national sponsor, national conference sponsorship team from Mitronics.com.au. Welcome to Roger and Mia, and welcome to Don, and welcome to Dianne from Mitronics. Great to see you again, guys. We caught up with you right alongside the Cover 4 stand there, right at the front door. Nice to see you back again with CCA. Roger, if I could start my first question with you, mate, please let us know, like Mitronics, you've been in the office technology, you've been in the laptop business, you've been in the photocop biz, you do a lot of office interactive screen. You've been doing this for 30 years, and I've recently heard that you've won some HP Australia Hewlett-Packard awards. Do you mind, Roger, telling us a little bit about those awards and a little bit about your business?
Thank you, Josh. Yes, we've been in business for 30 years. We recently just won the HP Partner of the Year, Australia-wide. And Don, my son, won the Australian HP Salesperson of the Year.
Congratulations, guys. That wouldn't have been an easy award to win in a big market.
Very hard, and a lot of very large companies that we competed against, but we've had significant growth.
And Roger, you've got a lot of offices, mate, as well as being good on the phone and obviously dispatching from central warehousing, and everything's kind of done online. In addition to that, I've noticed you've got a lot of offices and you've kind of got national reach.
We have 18 offices, and with contractors, we have 217 support staff.
Yeah,
so we can service nationally. Yeah,
amazing. Don, I want to get into the weeds, the stuff that I'm not good at, but our ICT teams out in our colleges are very good at this, and you're very, very good at it yourself. Don, I've read that Windows 10 may no longer be supported in 2025. No more updates to Windows 10, no more patching. You know, we read a little bit about the Essential 8 for good housekeeping, that Windows 10 is at, some serious risk here, potentially risk for our colleges around student files, anything in Windows 10 with a business contract file attached to it or a finance file attached to it, I think may be at risk, from what I'm being told, of being hacked later next year. We're warned, Don, that we better migrate to Windows 11. I'll also ask you later about not Windows 12, but 24H2. Just back on Windows 10 to 11, Don, what's your advice? What can you tell us?
Well, as you were saying, Russ, next year in October, it's October the 14th, 2025 is the date. That is the date Windows have officially said globally they're not going to release any more security patches, updates, or any fixes on the operating system. So what does that mean is devices will keep working, they will keep running. However, no more security updates, no more bug fixes, no more, if there's a backdoor or some vulnerability, there's no more patches moving forward. That also means that a lot of businesses use Microsoft Bitdefender or Microsoft Defender. That's no longer going to be supported. That ties in as well to a lot of the compliance. You mentioned obviously Essential 8, but with all the latest cybersecurity, I guess, acts and governance in the past couple of years, if any company has devices that manufacturers no longer support, that can lead to, I guess, some compliance issues down the track. So we're telling all our customers, hey, if you guys aren't on Windows 11 yet, let's look at all your devices that are still on Windows 10 or older, and how do we get them up to speed, or what other options are there around upgrading or something out of the box to get you guys, first of all, compliant. And the second thing is security. So moving forward, all the new devices actually will have AI built in. So a lot of people ask me, what is an AI PC? All it means is there's going to be an additional processing unit on the device, and that's going to help with the everyday tasks. And it's actually going to give a lot of users like myself who have laptops better battery life. So there's an additional processor on there. That means the CPU and your graphic card, the GPU, are not going to be throttling all the processing. You're going to have a third unit called a neural processing unit, or the AI chip, as all the manufacturers call it. And there's obviously different tiers and speeds, similar to when you get Intel, you've got i5, i7, and things like that. But in a nutshell, that's what an AI PC is when you have all three of those on the motherboard. I guess that's everything summed up in a nutshell. I won't go into too much detail, but in terms of how we can, I guess, help CCAs, we can do look at your, I guess, fleet, map it, test all the devices, do all that sort of stuff to see what devices can be eligible to upgrade, if they can just be upgraded, what needed to be upgraded, and also go through if you guys or any of the colleges don't have a regular deployment plan and refresh cycle. Because every now and again, these things happen. And yeah, if no one has a regular plan or budget in place, you sort of get caught out red-handed. The other thing is not to, I guess, cause mass panic or alarm, but globally, there's about 260 devices Microsoft have identified that aren't eligible to upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11 that are actively in use. In Australia at the moment, it's about 4 million. The past 3 months, about 1 million of that used to be 5 million. So in the past 3 months, there's been 1 million devices upgraded or replaced that were Windows 10 that were no longer supported to Windows 11. What does that mean? Every year in Australia, there's only about 2 to 3 million, depending on how the economy is going, devices sold in Australia. There's 1 million shortfall just for Australia alone, and globally, there could be a global shortfall. So a lot of all the manufacturers are sort of panicking and just saying, hey, if it happens, we will let everybody know, but we don't want to get down to crunch time where it's getting to late June, July, August, where you guys are getting closer and closer to October, where we've almost run out of time to deploy and get everything, I guess, up and running.
Okay. There's a lot to consider there. I had no idea that an AI machine was going to actually change the architecture of the hardware itself. You're talking about a second and third chip in the laptop that's in front of you right now, Don. So that's a change to that's a pretty fundamental change to how a laptop is structured in terms of its hardware and architecture inside the machine. Then you've gone on to tell us that you would come in and maybe help me in my college conduct an audit. Like that's a like that requires somebody from Mitronics to be on my site. Have I got that correct or not?
It doesn't need to be physically on site. We can just liaise, and a lot of the times, I'm assuming a lot of the colleges would have some sort of asset map or asset repository that go through and just list, because
they do.
Have, hey, here's all your devices, or hey, Don, here's all our devices and the models and so on. I can go check all those and see if they are eligible.
Okay.
Because you need to have, I believe, I think it's a 10th generation Intel chip. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head for AMD, but to upgrade, and the upgrade is free for Windows 11. But any of the that are incompatible, they're just sort of stuck in Windows 10 land. And can't upgrade.
Yeah. Is there a rough timeline on that? If I've got laptops in my particular college that are 5 years old, that's going to be too old. 3 years, 2 years. What about stuff that's 12 months old? Is it like that, or it's more about what is the power of the processing unit there?
It's going to be anything from at least 3 years and older. Definitely anything in the past 2 years it definitely should be able to upgrade.
Okay.
But anything around that 3 year mark, 4 or 5, and definitely older than 5, I wouldn't say would be compatible to upgrade, or even some of them might not even run Windows 10 very well, because they would have been upgraded straight from Windows 7 maybe to Windows 10. They've even skipped some in between. A lot of people did in the past, but that's
now, Don, to take this to the next level, I've been told that it won't be called Windows 12 when the new release comes, but they're going to call it Windows 24 H2. What does that mean? Can you tell us a little bit about this? Next version that we're going to see later?
I think what you're referring to was Windows, when they announced Windows 10, said this would be the last operating system, so it would be the one to end. But what's happened since COVID and the advancement in machine learning and artificial intelligence means there's a lot of systems that can do penetration and a lot of security and break by brute force, numbers, all that sort of stuff in a very, very short amount of time. So that was the reason why they've released Windows 11. And so that's what they're saying with Windows 11. It'll probably be the last operating system in terms of the Windows suite. and all versions moving forward will just be upgrades essentially of it. There won't be a whole new iOS, because what's happening, a lot of people are moving away from local and moving everything into a cloud, or using everything, all your applications in a browser like Chrome or Firefox or Edge. So there's a lot less applications these days being needed to be used on a local device.
Yeah.
So it's hard to crystal ball where that will land, but it's all getting talked about at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the ways that with that crystal ball gazing that all leaders have to do, one of the ways that I deal with that as a leader is to go and get advice. And I don't know a lot of this myself. I can follow probably 30% of what you're talking about, Don, but I need that 70% knowledge that I don't know. And I don't know what I don't know. So I come to a guy like you and you help talk me through that, right? Like that's, Roger, that's part of the service. You'll talk us through that. I appreciate that, Don, just getting down into the weeds just a little bit, 1% of your knowledge, but certainly skilling me in this conversation. So Roger and Dianne, if I could come back to finish off, CCA members can reach out to both of you and to Don and to Mitronics. You can secure great deals for CCA members. That was very clear with the catalogue that you handed, Dianne, to every single CCA CEO and executive member that was in the room with you on our 3-day conference at the Amora Jamison. So they've got that catalogue. How do we reach you guys? What's the best way for us to get in touch and to have that detailed conversation that we just had with Don?
Yeah, so everyone would have received a catalogue. Our details are on that catalogue, so our website's on there, and also our number is on there. You can email myself, email Roger or Don, but even if you just phone through to Mitronics and ask for Dianne, Roger or Don, we'll be able to assist, and I'm sure you'll share our details with all your members as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to, yeah, you go first, Roger.
Yeah, we're also happy to come and visit every site, or do a Teams or Zoom call, whatever the college would like.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to suit some people to do some and some to do the other. Totally get it. So one of the things that I'll do, Roger, is get your details scratched out in an email, and Claire will put together a little package at the end of this little promo that we're doing now, just to flash those details up on the screen. So ICT teams, CEOs and executives that are watching this can maybe just hang on to that last 10-second screen grab. We'll get the details there. Roger, Dianne and Don, thanks for updating CCA members this afternoon. This is our little short talk CEO recorded session for busy CEOs that will push this to their ICT teams and to their executive teams. I really want to thank you very much. We appreciate your partnership very, very much. Last time I looked at LinkedIn, Roger, 24,000 LinkedIn followers and counting. I think 35 different sporting rugby league and soccer clubs out there. Last time you and I met with the mighty Penrith Panthers ourselves, mate. So really want to thank you guys and appreciate your advice and support. Catch up with you very, very shortly, and our members will no doubt be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Ross.
good afternoon. See you.
Have a great afternoon, guys. Bye-bye.